So, fun fact. The Pathfinder eats a battery every year and a half or so. I don't really know why that is, but it is. And about a year ago, I put the battery, I replaced the battery. So it started tweaking out, doing all kinds of weird stuff, rolling its own windows down. The stuff it does whenever the battery is dying, the 12-volt battery, not the main battery. This car doesn't have an alternator because it's a hybrid. It charges the battery off the main system. So that's a thing. Anyway, let's get a little further down the road and I'll tell you what today is about. Oh yeah. So yeah, the Pathfinder started kind of freaking out. It rolls its own windows down and it kind of runs weird. And the 12-volt system does control, I think it controls, damn it, the ignition system. So yeah, the 12-volt system controls the ignition system for the gas engine, and it was running rough. The windows rolled themselves down. They do that whenever the batteries get ready to die on you. So a little over a year ago, I put a battery in it. I put a battery in it this week. The problem is, if you go watch Prius Juice, I got 50 miles to the gallon on the Prius coming back from Fresno. We got to turn this on. This is good, Lord. It's warm today, guys. It's really warm today. AC, yes. Yes, AC, please. To AC. Cool it down in here a bit. So yeah, the thing started acting out. Went and replaced the battery. The problem is it lost the memory. It lost the memory of all the previous fuel economy on all the previous trips. So coming back from the range today, I will do my hypermiling thing. And the way I do that is starting out there at Woody Road. I come back through Oildale. I never go above 2,000 RPM. I don't go over 45 miles an hour until I get into town. And that's only when I get on the freeway. Then I get up to 55 and I stay in the slow lane and I cruise home. And that's how I got 46 miles to the gallon last time. Hopefully we can beat that this time. We will see. So that's one of the things I want to do today. The other thing, I'll tell you, Gabe trips me out, man. When I was 18, if I could sleep in, oh man, I sleep until 11 o'clock in the morning if I could do it. I get up this morning, my alarm goes off at 6, I stretch, for 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm thinking like 5 after 6, I hear the shower turn on. I'm getting ready to get up, go take a shower. I'm supposed to meet Mark out at the range at 8, and Gabe takes his shower. He's in there for an hour, which I get that. That was me when I was his age too. I did the same thing. I do the same thing now. It takes me 40 minutes to take a shower. I take a 15-20 minute shower now because I want to sleep a little bit later, and then I've got to go to work. So, but during the weekends, I'm in there for almost an hour. Anyway, Gabe did that. I didn't get out of the house till 8. That's pretty cool. I didn't get out of the house till 8. I was going to be there, and then I texted Mark, hey, I'm running late, but I'm on my way. And he said, I'm not going to make it today anyway. I'm not feeling good. Well, shoot. I had loaded everything up, and I was just going to go out there, and I wish the light balance would stay. I don't understand why it's doing that. Yeah, I had everything loaded up, and I was going to go that is so retarded. I don't understand what the deal is there. And then because of the, whatever. It's lighting off of the thing. I think. That's better. Hopefully it'll stay there. We'll see. So yeah, Mark wasn't going, and everybody else had bailed. Nobody wants to go. The boys didn't want to go, which surprised the heck out of me. I'm going to flip back around, go home, and do the modification to that M1A. I was going to shoot the M1A today. So I want to do that mod. For the angled foregrip. And get a flashlight mounted to it. So I went back home and did that. It's 11 o'clock, 10:59. It's 11 o'clock just about. It's 11 o'clock now, and I'm just now getting going. And but I got that angled foregrip on the gun. There's a picture of that. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully that works. I think I might move it back 1 notch on that pick rail, because it's a little bit far forward for what I want, since it's lower than what I was thinking it was going to be. But that's cool. We'll talk about that more at the range. I'm not going to hypermile out to the range, but I am going to try to hypermile back. And at the end of the video, I'll show you what I got. So yeah, no motorcycles this weekend. I cleaned the garage yesterday. Here's some walk around to that real quick. I got my couch back. I got that stuff in front of the toolbox cleaned up. Next weekend, since it's a 4-day weekend, happy Thanksgiving, I'm gonna start cleaning up the countertops and the workbenches and stuff. I think that's gonna be good. Get all that done. Kind of reclaim my shop space there at the house. Get my tools a little bit better organized, all that stuff. Anyway, that's enough yip-yapping. Let's go to the range. So cool, here's the mods that we did. Put the flashlight on with a MOE rail section, and put the looks like they're going to do a line break. We put the angled foregrip on with another MOE rail section, and just to show you, this is the part, the foregrip, and there's the information for that. I've got the shade so that it's covering the camera so the lens doesn't flare, hopefully. Anyway, there's that. There's that bit of information for you. That's the thing. So we got 2 of those. They come with the mounting hardware, and these are really cool because they work with all kinds of different they've got the little backing plates. I'll show you a picture of that. There's the little backing plates in there that you screw into. So inside the gun there's 2 little plates on each rail that it screws into. It sandwiches the rail to the gun. And then this is the grip, the angled foregrip. And there's the part number and everything. But these are really meant for AR-15s. Pretty cool stuff. I like Magpul a lot. They make a few products I don't really care much for. So this is far enough forward that we should be able to get magazines in and out of the gun without bumping the fingers. But I'll be honest, it's kind of far forward for me. So I might move it back 1 notch, but I don't want to mess that up. So let's give it a try. I haven't shot this gun in a while. Yeah. The sight's elevated for 400 meters, that's why it's let's bring it back down to 2. I can't hear if I'm hitting, but it looks like I am. You probably can't hear it. Oh, it is high. Come down to 2, not up to 6. Actually, it was on 8. That's why I'm not hitting anything. There we go. Cool. The other thing I did, the magwell was really tight on this gun, so I shaved the sides down. And it was the stock. I thought it was. And get the magazines in and out now. Let's see where we're at. That's a hit. Dust clear. Alright, let's roll it back up to 4 and let's go out to 4. That's high. I can't hear what I'm doing out there. It sounds like I'm missing. Roll it back into 2. what I'm doing. That's not bad. Still a little tight on that mag well. Tell you what I'm tempted to do though. Maybe we'll get the tool real quick and I'll bring you down here where you can see. I'm gonna move it back one notch on that pick rail and see how that handles. All right. Ooh, that's hot. Buddy, don't touch that gas system. Especially after firing 40 rounds. So on this, what we're going to do is just loosen this up a bit. Take this out. And then move it back one. Again, keep the hands off of the gas system because holy cow. Holy cow, that's hot. Did it stay in there? It did. I like that. Okay, I'm going to back that up so that it doesn't fall out when I do this. And this should just fall right through. All right. Let's get back up there and I'll show you how it looks. I'm not gonna lie, I like that a lot better, guys. No, that's fine. That's fine. You brush your knuckle on it a little back there. But for me, your mileage may vary. For me, I'm gonna get a better grip out of that. I'm gonna grab some gloves. I think this gun is gonna be better served. I'm gonna be better served running this gun with some gloves. Grab some gloves. So these are the mechanics gloves. When they came out with these, I bought a pair for work and I started using them for work. And this faux suede stuff for the stuff I work on, oily, greasy kind of thing, it's not really all that great. Constantly washing them, they wore out really quick. Not worth it for me. And what I do mechanically, it's not really that hard on my hands, to be honest, physically. But then I saw a Nut and Fancy video and he's using mechanics gloves to shoot. And I was like, well, and none of my guns really tear my hands up either. This one does. The magazine release is really hard on the thumb there. I don't care for that. I'll tell you, I'm tempted to go through and file that edge off and round it, and that's probably something that's going to happen. The other thing that I don't care for is the way the magazines are on the bottom. They're just kind of sharp, a lot of sharp edges. They're kind of rough. Let's see if that helps me any. See if it helps me to not suck as much, because I'm not doing too good today, guys. All right, here we go. Yeah, I can already, and see how that keeps my thumb off of there? I can already, that feels a lot better. It might not mean anything, but then again it might. Those are 180 meters. That one's the size of a human head, maybe just a touch bigger. I've got it set for 200 meters when I'm doing that. Let's go up to the 200 meter range and we'll pop the circle up in the center. Well, we'll try to pop the circle up in the center. I'm not doing something. Right next to it. That's pretty good. A little bit better trigger control would be helpful. I'm kind of screwing that up. That is still really tight in that mag well, but I can actually get magazines in and out. Let's go to 4. The big circle. That was low. I dropped it. That's a hit, I think. Nice. That's definitely a hit. More hits. 400. Down 2. Come back down here. Headshot. 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 No. Total miss. So there you go. I like that. Now, that's too far back to run that light. Actually, I can't show you from this angle. If I wrap my finger around that and I come in here, I can run that light. No pad needed. Don't need all that fancy high-speed slick wheelie operator stuff because we're not an operator. But how do you like that? I had to stand that front of that off because the rail, if you can see, the rail follows the contour of the gun, and the front stands off there and is lined up with the barrel. Well, that's all right, and I like the distance on that for shooting, and I can just run that up one and run that light. I think what I'm going to do is get a size 100 zip tie. And if any of you guys watch that Fancy's channel, he's got a deal where he puts a zip tie on his spider coats. I didn't even try it because I like the big hole in those. It works great for me. So he puts that on there to get a little bit more traction, get a little more speed. And I get what he's doing there, but I don't care for it, so I don't do it. But it's a great idea, and I think what I'm going to do is get a size 100 with a big plastic knot. And what I'll do is I'll get this where it's just almost on, and then I'll line that up and I'll zip tie that. And then I can just push that over and have it on permanently. Flip it back up and have it off. And then I can push the button when it's off. So that's probably what we're going to do. Guys, I'm going to go load magazines and probably shoot this a little bit more. I'm getting a little bit better with it, you see. Get some magazines loaded, come back, shoot this a touch more, and then we'll get out the gun sight scout, play with that a little bit.
Pretty accurate just with the sights. Right. vertical one up there. My bad. Move out the way.
There you go. So there's a mod that you can do to your M1A, make it a little bit faster, I guess, if you're not sucking on ice.
I heard the magazine go. Might be the magazine.
Let's get the Scout.
I heard it go like,
So this is my Ruger Gunsight Scout. Love this thing.
push the mag in. Give it a nice little.
It's missing the scope. I use a I'm trying to think if I put this gun in a video before. I use a Scout optic from Hilux, and it's really cool. It's got the bullet drop compensate stuff in the reticle. I've shot that thing at 7 power all the way out to 600 meters. It does pretty good. It does better than I can do. Anyway, one thing about it, a year or two after I got the rifle, maybe it was about a year, Ruger came out with these polymer magazines. They're single stack, single feed. They're pretty cool. They're very reliable. Those feed lips on them are incredibly stout. You can see how thick those are. They work really well. I've never had a problem with them. You put the little caps on it and it actually pushes that top round down just a little bit and takes the tension off the feed lips. The way these are made, I really don't think that's necessary, but it's good that it does it. This is the Accuracy International magazine that came with it. It looks really cool in the gun. The problem that I have is it didn't take, and I don't have a lot of rounds through this gun, a few hundred. It didn't take very long before that round wants to pop out, and those feed lips expanded like that, and it was almost no use in a very short time after. So I like that. Well, I'll tell you, it's got a lot of the same issues as the M1A magazines, the M14 magazines. It's got a lot of sharp edges, and when you sling the rifle, that digs into your back and stuff. It's not really comfortable. So anyway, let's shoot this. Another thing I don't like about the gun, the sights kind of mimic the M1A system, but they're not graduated the way those are. Those are designed to work a certain way at certain distances. These are just, it's just a peep sight with a bladed front, or a protected front blade. They're nowhere near as good. They're nowhere near as good as the ones on the M1A. I like having them on there. I like the Scout rifle concept with the extended eye relief scope, because you can turn it down to 1.5 power, whatever it was, 1.2 or something on that scope. And you've still got your peripheral vision. It's a good up close, and you can run a bolt pretty fast, especially on one of these smooth bolts. So let's see what we can do with this. Since I'm sucking on ice today, I'm going to drive that home really gently, and it's going to pop out.
Hey, did it eject?
Yeah, we did all right. Too cool. Let's see what we can do with it. I haven't shot this irons in a while, so I don't really remember where I'm at on this. Oh, and it's a Ruger M77 system, so it's a Mauser bolt, basically. So your safety is, you can't fire, but you can open the bolt, and the bolt is completely locked down. That's how that works. Whoa. Spot on. I think I remember where the sights are now.
We just gotta see, find a mag that is
Low.
But it could be the ammo. This mag is good.
to the left. My fault. That looked like that was to the left also. That was low. I threw that shot. Back over here. Nice. That's 200 meters almost, about 180. Let's jump up to 4. Low, very low. Did not compensate enough for the height. I also like that these magazines do not roll in, they go straight up. And these are way better magazines right here. Let's go up here. Oh shit. That was a little high, my bad. Nice. Back down here to 180. I threw that. 200. Low and left. Directly underneath it. Missed it by an inch or two. That was to the right. Come back down here. Can't tell where that went. Nice. Yeah, I love these magazines. The polymer ones are great. I wish I hadn't have done that, because now I gotta go get those. Safety that, test that. Nice. So part of the reason, safety this real quick. Nothing. Part of the reason I'm checking this is firing pin bent, which I didn't know was possible. I sent it back to Ruger, and they took care of it. True to form, Ruger does. They just take care of you. We broke the GP100, completely rebuilt that gun. Fixed the timing on it the first time, it was still wrong. And yeah, it was still wrong, so we sent it back again, and they completely rebuilt the gun. And that gun's from the 80s, you know? That's just Ruger, man. You read their warranty policy, they don't have no warranty, implied or expressed. None. That said, you send them the gun, they take care of you. Let's go down here to one knee. Can you see me? Yeah. Let me go to one knee, kind of sit a little bit, take my time a little bit better, see where I'm hitting if I can. There we go. That was a little to the right. That was a little high. Couldn't tell where that went, but it was. That was a little low. That was my fault. Come back up here. Nice. Saw me throw that. I hope you saw me throw that. That was a little low. That's it. That's it. There you go. Good rifle. Decent irons. They're okay. They're not really all that great. But I really like this, and I got pretty good with it with the scope. I got to replace that scope, but we got to get through a couple other things first. And get that Harley engine paid for, you know what I mean? Yeah, I really like this gun. And it probably weighs half of what that M1A weighs. Oh man. So there you go, Ruger Gunsight Scout. It's a pretty good rifle. It's better than I am. The sights aren't that great. They're all right, you know, inside of 100, 200 yards, 200 yards if you get used to them. I never really shot them that much to begin with. I always had the scope on it. As soon as I can get around this Harley engine thing, I got to pay that off. But it looks like the repairs that Ruger made for me are good, so too cool. All right, I'm gonna go plank around with some 22 for a minute, and then I'll catch you on the way back. We'll see what our fuel economy was. So, hypermiling back. It's almost 30 miles back to town, and you can see how slow we're going. Actually, let's do this. Doing 40, 45, and the idea is to not get it over 2,000 RPM at any point. So like this windy stuff, I'll keep it down around 40. And then when we straighten out a little bit more, I'll get it up to about 45, and I'll be in somebody's way, I'm sure. But they can go around me. It's no big deal. Anyway, we do this, and we'll see where we're at for mileage when we get back. And then that'll be probably our best. That'll probably be our best fuel economy. And it'll probably stay our best, because I don't do this very often. Oh, man. Yep. Still around 40. Nice. Look at how beautiful the air quality is. My goodness. Oh no. The light turned. We're sitting at a stoplight and the engine's off. And here we go. Like I say, keeping it under 2,000. I'm gonna pull into the gas station here. Pull into the gas station here, and alright, I'm halfway to where I'm gonna stop, so I'm touching the brakes and shutting the engine off. So you're pulsing glide. We pulsed up to the speed we want, and now we're gliding. And brakes. Oh, here we go. My favorite gas station in the whole wide world. Alright. Let's see how we did. Get in here. Park. And shut it off. Current rating 44.3. Not bad. Not as good as it was. 44.2, sorry. So there you go. So there you go. Today's musical interlude brought to you by Harley Davidson and whatever. Because you got to have a stereo on your motorcycle. That's what motorcycling is all about, right? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and fill it up. Good day at the range. A little bit of improvement on those irons after a few rounds. It's been a while since I shot that gun. I need to start shooting it some more, especially if it's going to be kind of a go-to. I need to suck less. But yeah, steady improvement and stick with it. Quit playing with other stuff, you know. That's where it's at. Get some batteries in that flashlight, because right now it's just on there. It's dead. There's no batteries in it even. There's not even dead batteries in it. It's just empty. So get that square, get that zip tie thing. I will show you when I do the zip tie how it is, and I'll talk about it a little bit more there. I'm going to go ahead and get some gas. Reset my trip. 64.6 miles. Now it's 37,862 miles on the odometer. Not bad. I started to say goodbye and I kind of skipped over something that I meant to talk about real quick. Somebody commented to me about fuel economy. Why are you so obsessed with it? All that stuff. Okay. I don't know. It's just something that interests me. So the reason for this car that the fuel economy is such a big deal, because I don't get that good of gas mileage around town. I get like 18 on average, almost 20 sometimes. So around town as a hybrid, this thing doesn't really do that good, but hypermiling like that, I got 46 that one time in the previous video where we talked about the fuel economy for this. I got 46. This time I got 44.2. You know, well, why is that a big deal? Well, here's to the point of it. Here's why it's a thing for me. 44.2 miles per gallon. You go times the 17 gallons you got in the tank. Now you got another like half gallon, I think, as a reserve. Whatever. We're just gonna go with the 17 gallons that the tank holds. You see how many miles that is, you know? I've got 3 jerry cans that I keep gas in, and right now they're empty. I need to clean them out and get them reset up. But 3 jerry cans, 5 gallons each, that's 15 more gallons of fuel that goes in the tank. That's how many miles I can do there. And the thing is, that's like 1,400 miles that I can go without finding fuel. And from here 1,400 miles puts you in Texas. I can drive to Texas without having to buy fuel. It's a big deal. You're gonna drive all the way to Texas 45 miles an hour? No. If the Chinese decide to invade mainland America and we're running for our lives, you know, how fast can a military travel? You know, the entire body of their military. If we go, oh, we get the fair warning, they go, oh, the Chinese are coming and all that stuff, we load the car up and we leave. If we do 40 miles an hour and we're getting that kind of mileage, by the time they land, they get troops and all that stuff, they fight our guys, by the time they get here, it's just not going to matter. That low-slung sun is not helping me out on this video. Wash my face out. Oh, well, you don't want to see my face anyway. Anyway, if there's an earthquake and California is just destroyed, we go, oh, we have to leave. We can load the car up and hightail it out. And by hightail, I mean keep it down around 40 miles an hour and take it easy and take some of the back roads. You know, if the roads are destroyed, how well is it going to work? Probably not too well, you know. But how well are the big four-wheel drive vehicles going to work? Well, they'll get over the cracks in the roads a lot easier than I will. But how far are they going to make it at 12 miles per gallon? So it's a trade-off. You're going to have to pick your routes. You're going to have to all that stuff. Part of the problem is you get stuck in traffic, and this is where I really love the Prius, or I like this thing too. You get stuck in traffic, you stop, the engine shuts off, you're not burning gas. You can sit there and have the air conditioner running in the Prius, not in this. Every time you run the air in this, it turns the gas engine on, it runs all the time. So, but in the Prius, you know, you can get even better mileage, and heck, 50 miles to the gallon in that thing. And that was at 65, 70 miles an hour. So But there's a trade-off. You can't haul as much stuff in that car. So anyway, I really like that. The range on this thing realistically is at 1,400 miles. Not really. You know, when Ben and I did that trip, our overall economy was, you know, it was all right. It wasn't no 40 miles to the gallon. What are you doing? So anyway, that's why the fuel economy thing just kind of like to have the range. I don't know why. Is it ever going to be a thing? I gotta hope not. You know, fleeing from the Chi-Coms or evacuating for the earthquake or the zombie apocalypse or whatever the thing is. I don't know, but it's nice to have a car that can do 1,400 miles, 700 miles plus, you know. 700 miles plus on a tank of gas. That'd get you a long way from a lot of BS. So anyway, I'm home. I'm gonna go in and get something to eat because I am starved half to death. That damn thing. That fly just flew right back in. So, oops, I almost hit my other car. Not paying attention to what I'm doing. So for realsies this time, I'm out. You guys have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one.